Our last little section for today, grade 5s, is history. What is history? Okay, and this is quite a fun little section because we get to be detectives. Now, history is all about people, about events, and about objects, and it's specifically from the past. And somebody who is a master of history is called a historian. This is the person who writes down all the information that they've gathered, and he records what has happened in the form of a story so we can go and learn more about the past. Now, being a historian is a bit like being a history detective. Remember, you can't in your exam say the person who records stories about the past is a history detective. I'm just telling you that as a little clue to help you remember it. But the person who records stories from the past is a historian. But a history detective is somebody who looks at evidence from the past. They want to learn about the past from clues that people have left behind. And you have three main types of clues that people leave behind. These are called sources. So you have material sources, written sources, and oral sources. Now let's have a look at those three in more detail. Material sources. Now I've got the word see and pick up nice and bold in the middle of the screen, because you must think when you hear material sources, you must think of things that you can see, things that you can pick up. Some of the pictures that I have there are coins, are rock paintings, are actual bones and fossils from the past, old photographs, old pottery that they found underground of many civilizations years ago. So when I think material sources, I think of things I can see, things that I can pick up. Then we have written sources, and my key word here is to read. You can read written sources, so things like newspaper articles, or old birth certificates, or old letters, or old carvings on, for instance, the inside of the pyramids in Egypt. Those are all written sources. When I can read them, they are written sources. And then lastly, we have oral sources, and the key word here is to hear. So if Granny tells you stories about when she was a little girl, that's an oral source. In the pictures that you have on the screen, you see a number of people telling younger children about the past. But you also see an interview happening, and you see a radio blaring with sound coming out of it. When you listen to an interview on the radio, that is also an oral source. The minute that somebody writes that interview down and all the words that were spoken in that interview, that then becomes a written source, because now you read the interview. You don't just listen to it. So the three sources again, we had material sources, and remember your keywords here are see and pick up. You have written sources, keyword is read, and you have oral sources, and the keyword there is to hear. Remember, a history detective is rather known as a historian, and they study clues, or better known as sources, about the past. Good luck.